Hi everyone, I'm going to take you through an orchard today that I have planted over the last 2 years. So starting here we have a golden delicious apple. It's yet to give fruit, probably because it is not a dwarf variety, so they take a few years more to provide fruit. Then we'll go to, there's a Damson Plum seedling, but yeah, it isn't doing incredibly well, so we'll see if that lives. I have got a red delicious apple here, and I think that this is a dwarf tree. I shouldn't really be keeping the one apple on it, but I wanted to see what it tasted like, so we're gonna leave it on. And I have also grafted a different variety onto the tree here as well, so that'll be interesting to see if that also provides fruit. I've now got a Valencia orange here. It hasn't provided fruit yet, but it is looking really healthy and survived our very cold winter that we had in 2022. So I'm glad that it's doing well for this cooler climate over winter. I've got a pomegranate here and a heritage apple tree here, which is called a Fenouillet Gris. So yeah, quite a different variety. We've got a Vista apple here, which is growing nicely. Again, these aren't the Fenouillet Gris and the Vista are not dwarf varieties, so they'll probably take a little bit longer to give fruit. The reason I like the Vista is it should give fruit in as early as January, so over summer. Then I have an apricot. I'll just check what the variety is. A dwarf Tilton apricot. So hopefully that should bear fruit maybe even next year. This apple here is meant to be one of the oldest apple varieties known, the Pendu Plat. So again, another French word for kind of short and flat kind of apple. So that should be interesting if it provides fruit. I have got here a blood orange, which is starting to give fruit, and again, I probably shouldn't be leaving the fruit on the tree because it's such a small tree. So I'll have to decide what I'm going to do there, because I really would be keen to try some of the blood oranges, although it might be at to the detriment of the tree. Here is a ruby red grapefruit. It has really struggled. This is a heavy clay soil, which is not good for citrus, and it has got very waterlogged over the the spring of 2022, when we got basically an extra 13 inches of rain. Here is a McIntosh apple, and it's a dwarf variety, so hopefully that means it should give fruit soon-ish, maybe in the next year or two. I have got a Mariposa plum, which is already massive and needs pruning over summer, and yet to give fruit. This is a bacon avocado, and it has been in a greenhouse over winter. It did start setting fruit, but they have all fallen off except one baby avocado here, if a camera can pick it up. Why can't I? There we go. Little baby avocado which hasn't fallen off yet. And I have also grafted a different variety onto this stem here as well to hopefully have two varieties growing on the tree. And I will need to cover this again in winter because once again we're not really quite in the right climate for growing avocados here. However, I've been told if you persist that once they can kind of get hardier to the cold winters and grow quite well. Here is a Moorpark apricot. It's a dwarf variety. So again, hopefully it will fruit next year. And this is another avocado. It's a Wurtz avocado. And it was going really well until my sheep got in and ate the main stem. So some more growth has started again, which is good that it's still alive. I have planted a black mulberry here, which started to set fruit this year and then it all dropped off. So hopefully that's not a usual thing. Hopefully next year it will hold its fruit. Here I have a Rosa plum. Again, it is growing like crazy, so I will need to prune that in a month or so to try and reduce the growth. This is a blue pear Maine apple, so another rare variety. I basically bought it because it's Henry David Thoreau's favourite apple, and I just thought it would be fun to give it a taste. A very old apple variety. This is a, I don't know how to pronounce it, Pyvert pear, and it's a dwarf variety, and it does have some pears growing quite nicely in it. I also grafted, and I don't know why the graft has gone so crazy, but I did graft a conference pear. I believe it's a conference pear onto it. So this is from a neighbour's pear tree. So just to give perspective, it has ruined the the pretty little dwarf pear that I have, but will be fun if it provides two different pear varieties. This is a white mulberry. Again, I think it's more suited to a warmer climate, so it'll be fun if I ever get fruit from the tree. But I do love mulberry trees, so it's worth giving it a go. That's just a seedling apple that I'll graft onto with other varieties of apples that I can locate, or especially heritage varieties. I love old apple trees, so I'm always on the lookout for people who have old apple trees in their backyard that want saving. This is a Nectarine seedling, which is from a tree which produces very well, so I'm told that this should produce pretty well the true to type fruit. So once again, it'll be an experiment and we'll see what happens.